Greetings, welcome back to PinkOddBird. Today we are here with day 5 of October Daily, and today's prompt is draw and decorate a simple jack-o'-lantern and give him or her a simple story. So it looks like we're going to be on this page, and perfect because there's a bunch of little pumpkins here, so I'm going to leave that page as is and we're just going to focus on this one here. So I'm going to try and do this one in real time. I've tried this before, but they end up taking me forever, so this one is a pretty simple spread, so I'm going to start out by drawing like a jack-o'-lantern. And a little stem. You guys, I don't know how to draw, so. And maybe like a curly thing. And I guess he needs lines. And okay, so that's going to be my pumpkin, and then I'm going to leave this space to journal. I need to start doing some flatter spreads because my book's going to be way too full if I don't simmer down. So I'm going to use the same little, well, actually, so this here is the the pumpkin that my story is about. And so as I write down his story, you guys will see kind of a little bit of the life of this little jack-o'-lantern known as Ken Pump. So we're gonna write his name up here at the top, and then that'll leave me a little bit of space below to write his story. So and then the next thing that I'm going to do is just put my little prompt down on the page, just so that I already have that part taken care of. So maybe down here somewhere out of the way. So the story of Ken Pump. Okay, so let's see if we can get all of this down.
There once was a jack-o'-lantern named Ken Pump. Ken was an all-around wholesome pumpkin. He liked the outdoors. He liked to hang out and have tea with his buddy Boris. They would sit, laugh, and joke, telling stories to each other. Holla. He even would get emotional when he would visit relatives past. Ken would also get angry when he would fall down the stairs. Boy, is he all seeds or what? Ken also gets shook occasionally when he sees something scary. What Mr. Pump loves most of all is a good old-fashioned nap. This is a day in the life of Ken Pump. The end.
Okay, so we have his story all out here, and I hope you guys all enjoyed that. And if you can relate to Mr. Ken Pump, leave a comment down below and let me know. And if you're enjoying these videos, be sure to give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to check out the hashtag POBDaily19 to see what everybody else is doing for these super fun October daily spreads. So per the instructions of today's prompt, I'm supposed to decorate. And I kind of want to keep it a little simple because, like I said, my book is starting to get a little bit full. And if it does end up getting too full, like if this flap doesn't end up covering enough of the cover, I can always extend the flap if I need to. But, I mean, I'll worry about that when I get there. But for now, I'm just going to take my Distress crayon and spiced marmalade, and I'm just going to outline Mr. Ken. Mr. last name Pump, first name Ken. And I'm going to take a little bit of water and a little piece of napkin and try and get that kind of blended and spread around. Hopefully, oh, the black marker. Of course, the black marker isn't permanent. It's kind of smudging around, but that's okay. So I'm gonna add a little bit more orange. It's colored. I think I might have brown for this. Let me check. I have this one here, which is frayed burlap. So not terribly brown, but also not the end of the world. Okay, good enough. All right, and then we need to make Mr. Ken's face. And I still have all the little pieces here for from, you know, the video. And so I just got to figure out which face I want to do. We can do Angry Ken. Or we can, oh, let's do Shook Ken because, yeah, how many shook pumpkins? Well, you know what? There are shook pumpkins sometimes. We'll do shook one. It's something a little bit different than just our regular old pumpkin. So I'm just gonna glue these pieces down and this spread is done. So we're finally able to do one that's kind of in real time, so I'm happy about that. I will take it. So I don't know how long the next two are gonna take me, but we're gonna go ahead and roll into those as soon as I get this eye down. Greetings, welcome back to PinkOddBird. So today we're here to do day 6 of the prompts for October daily. And to get started, I am going to use my little Halloween words and phrases that I got from Mrs. Cog. And I will link down in the description box below if you're interested to know where you can pick up these super fun little Halloween words. But these are going to be what I'm going to use as sort of like the prompt or the Kickstarter to help me get going on today's prompt. So the prompt for today is write your own short rhyming Halloween poem. So easy enough, right? I think so. So I'm just picking out a few words. I'm thinking maybe 4 or 6 words will probably be good enough. And so I'm just randomly cutting these out, and then once I cut them out, I'm just distressing them down. So I'm going to go ahead and pick out a couple more words, and then we'll get started with the next part. Okay, I've picked out 6 words here. And since we're on a page of the spread where we're in the middle of the book, this is my center of the first signature. So this is kind of like a music Halloween page, and it says Witch's Dance. And so it says that here twice. So I think I'm going to use that as the premise for my poem. So as you can see how this is kind of coming together, I'm using these words to kind of like build the poem. And then I'm going to base it around the theme of the Witch's Dance, and then below that it says Grand Galop de Concert. So I'm going to kind of go with like a witch's party or witch's ball kind of theme. So I have just a little scrap piece of paper, and I'm just going to kind of work out the poem based on these words here, and then we'll figure out the layout. Okay, so I've used all 6 of these words in my poem. Now I need something for the background in order to be able to write this all out. So I have a cool piece of vintage Halloween stationery here. So I think it's perfect because it has like some little witches on it and stuff. I'm just going to like maybe randomly kind of cut this and we'll just see what we get. And that's what we're going to work with. So let's glue this down like this and see if we can get all of that in here with the prompts or with the words and everything. So I'm gonna work on that and speed you guys up. I do want to point out that my poem is a lot of words. So you could do kind of like a simpler poem and these words would fit a little bit better, but I need to make sure that I have enough space for mine, so that's why it's kind of like staggered, but I'll understand what it means. However, the other option is you can also print these out smaller on your computer, so that's another choice that you have if you want to use these. Okay, so we were able to get the poem all laid out here. Perfect. Perfectly. So now I'm just going to look for a little bit of ephemera that we can maybe kind of add here just to give it a little something something on the page. Okay, so day 6, short Halloween poem. Greetings, welcome back to PinkOddBird. Today we are here on day 7 of our first completed week of October Daily, and I want to take a little moment here to thank all of you who have been participating, and if you've made it this far in the little challenge that we're doing, congratulations, kudos to you. You guys are doing a super amazing job, and I'm getting so much great feedback about everything that you guys are doing, so keep up the great work. And if you guys are catching up with us because you started maybe a day or two late, hang in there and we'll be here to hang out with you guys when you catch up with us. So I'm gonna do page 7 of our journal spread, and I'm gonna give you the prompts for the next 7 days as well. So I hopefully will be able to come back and do a flip through. I don't know if you guys want to see the flip through week by week, or if you guys just want to see it all at the end. I don't really know what you guys prefer, but if you guys have a preference, leave it down in the comments below and I will see what I can do to accommodate that. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started with day 7. Today's prompt is, What are your favorite snacks to eat while watching a movie? So the answer is clear and cut for me. My favorite snack to eat while watching a movie, especially when I go to the movies, everyone knows that I can't go without getting popcorn. Definitely, definitely it's my favorite snack. And this super cool little vintage popcorn bag, this one came from Renee at GT Designs. So thank you for this, Renee. I am finally getting a chance to use it. And I do want to get this kind of into my spread. So I think what I'm going to do is like this. And then over here, what I will do is, we have like a little pocket now with this bottom piece. And I don't want to cover up the bats on the bottom, so that's why I'm popping this onto the top. So, boom. All right, well, first of all, let me put my prompt down here so that that part is already taken care of. Well, I could leave this as a pocket. I'm just not terribly sure. Oh, you know what I can do? Ideas. Okay, so what I'll do is, and I think what I'm gonna do is adhere this down to the page here and pop it down here. I can't stop saying pop now. Okay. Put it down here. So what I'm going to do over here is I have a little piece of scrap paper. Just going to write past favorite movies. Okay. And then on this side I'm going to write day 7 of hashtag POB Daily 19. Since this little piece here sticks out at the top, I'm gonna write some of the greats. And on this piece of paper, I'm going to write down some of my favorite movies that I love to watch. Okay, so I've written down some of my favorite scary movies that I like to watch and TV shows, and then I still have a little bit of space on the back if I want to come back and add some more to my list of the scary greats. And then what I'm going to do with this piece here is every year when it's Halloween time, I always watch all of the Halloween movies, good and bad. So what I plan to do is to take like little strips, and every movie that I watch this month, I'm just gonna pop them into this little bag here. So this is gonna be where I house all of the movies that I watched this October. So I'm gonna make a little note right here so that I know in the future, if I forget for some reason, that that's what's inside of this bag. So now I know that this is going to be a little pouch for my 2019 movies. And then down here, I thought it would be kind of fun because this piece of cardstock here is a little bit thick. So I thought it would be kind of fun to just kind of like randomly cut some kind of abstract popcorn kind of shapes using some of these doilies. And so it kind of has like a three-dimensional poppycorny kind of look. I know this looks a little bit weird, but it's what I saw in my mind when we had this prompt. And so, you know, it's like abstract art. So that part is there. And then I do want to add Oh, I actually have a number 7 to add here. Day number 7. And then, oh, back to this little popcorn. I wanted to let this dry a little bit. I have some alcohol ink here, and it's in butterscotch color. And so I thought it would be kind of fun to add like a little, I thought it would be fun to add a drop of this to give the appearance of like the kernel shell. Is it gonna work? I don't really know, but I'm gonna go with it anyway. So I'm just gonna make a mess, and I'm just gonna add like a little drop here and there, which is kind of looks like popcorn until I messed it up right there. I guess I could cover that up with another piece of popcorn. And I feel like now I need to add another piece here. It's just gonna be all doilies, so we're just gonna add a bunch of doilies. Kidding. Okay. And I guess I do have to add a drop of this if it'll cooperate. And no, it didn't, so. Story of my life. Okay, so this is my day 7 spread. Well, you know, I tried to get a little inventive today, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but that's the way it goes, you know. We get what we get. So you just never know unless you give it a try. So that is going to wrap it up for spread number 7. So we have made it to the end of the week, and we're ready for our new set of prompts. So again, these are in no particular order. They're just kind of, I'll even just mix them up once more. They're just kind of shuffled about. So let's take a look at what we have. The first one is, so this is going to be day 8. Let's collage a ghost. Let yourself get creative with your mediums. So you can use any of your mediums, and that includes like, well, you guys know, fabric, buttons, whatever, paper, it doesn't matter. Paint, anything that you want. Ghost, it's ghost day. Day 9, let's make a magical broom. Write about where you would go. So use your stuff in your stash. Doesn't matter, just get creative and make a broom, and then talk about where you want to go. Day 10, dressing up is a fun part of Halloween. Let's dress our page with Halloween bits, paper, fabric, anything. So basically this is just, if you have stuff in your stash that's Halloween, which I feel like we all do because we're doing this, just fill your page up with Halloween decor, kind of like dressing up your page like we dress up for Halloween. So it's basically just splurge with your stuff. Day number 11 is let's make an invitation to our ultimate Halloween bash. So that's a pretty simple one. So basically we're going to make an invitation. Day number 11, take a picture of something Halloween related and write about it. So that could be if you take a walk, or if you go out and do something fun, or if you don't go out and do anything very much, or if you don't plan to this week, you don't have to take a fresh picture. You can use one of your old pictures, or you can draw your own picture. It's really up to you, but it's some kind of picture, Halloween related, and then write something about it. Day number 13 is make 2 tags with trick-or-treating safety tips. What tips were you given? So that's another one that's pretty explanatory. It's always important to have safety when we're trick-or-treating, and I think the rules kind of change as the times also change. So, you know, I think it's just a fun little thing to add into our books. And number 14 is let's franken it up. Make a bunch of piecemealed bits and parts for this spread. So for this one, it doesn't really matter what you're putting together. Just put some things together that might be unlikely to make something else. And so you could do that in the shape of just putting stuff down on your spread, or you can make tags. Really, it's up to you. Just get really creative with however you want to interpret that. So these are the prompts for the next 7 days, and it will continue to go as it has this past week on my channel here. And I think I'll also probably just end up making a playlist for this so that you guys can find it easily. You guys already know that you can check the hashtags on Instagram to see what everybody else is doing. You can check it on YouTube as well. I'll try and find anything that might be on YouTube that's this challenge and link it down below so you guys can see anybody else who might be on YouTube doing stuff. All right, I think that's going to wrap it up for me for now. Be sure to stay tuned because you never know what direction this odd flock of ours is headed into. And until next time, toodaloo.